Ladies and gentlemen, imagine being able to read a man's mind without him saying a word, knowing exactly when he's truly into you, when he's just passing time, and when his desire is real. Today, I'm revealing the 6 phrases men use when they want you, the hidden messages behind their words, and how you can decode his intentions so clearly that confusion, mixed signals, and heartbreak become a thing of the past. Stay with me, because once you learn this, you'll never guess about a man's feelings again. You'll know. If you want, I can also craft 3 more alternate 30-second hooks with different angles, one bold, one playful, and one mysterious, to see which grabs the audience best. Do you want me to do that? Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying this. Understanding a man's intentions isn't about mind reading. It's about noticing patterns, picking up on cues, and trusting your instincts. There are certain phrases men use when they are genuinely interested in you, and if you learn to decode them, you'll see through confusion, mixed signals, and emotional games. You'll see who is genuinely invested and who's just passing time. And the best part? You'll stop wasting energy on people who don't truly see your value. The first phrase you'll hear when a man wants you is, "I love spending time with you." Now, this might sound simple, almost too obvious, but it's the foundation of attraction. When a man is genuinely interested, his priority becomes creating moments with you, even in the busiest of schedules. He'll shift plans, make space, and find excuses to be around you, not because he's clingy, but because he wants to experience life with you. Notice the energy behind his words. Is he excited, animated, and present, or does it feel like an obligation? The way he says this phrase will reveal whether he's drawn to you or simply going through the motions. The second phrase that signals desire is, "I've been thinking about you." There's a difference between idle chatter and genuine preoccupation. When a man tells you this, he's communicating that you occupy space in his mind. He's replaying conversations, imagining scenarios with you, and consciously choosing to include you in his thoughts. Pay attention to the context. Is he sharing something specific he remembered about you? That shows attention to detail. And when someone remembers the little things, it's often a sign of deep interest. Then there's the phrase, "You're different from anyone I've met." Now, here's where most women misunderstand. They hear this and immediately assume it's flattery, but it's more than that. It's an acknowledgement that you stand out in his world. It's a subtle way of saying, "I see you in your entirety, and you challenge me, excite me, and intrigue me." When a man says this, he's revealing that he's actively comparing you to others, and you're the one who comes out on top. That's not casual. That's deliberate, and it's a sign of genuine interest. A fourth phrase to recognize is, "I want to know everything about you." This is a phrase that goes beyond surface-level curiosity. When a man expresses this, he's signaling a desire for emotional intimacy. He wants to understand your world, your experiences, your dreams, your fears. He's not just asking questions. He's listening, remembering, and weaving your story into his own mental narrative. The difference between a man who wants you and one who doesn't is how much effort he invests in truly understanding you. Notice how he reacts to your answers. Is he genuinely engaged, asking follow-ups, showing vulnerability himself? That's where you see true intent. The fifth phrase is, "I can't wait to see you again." Pay attention because this is one of the most revealing statements. Desire is proactive, and a man who wants you doesn't just hope for the next encounter, he actively plans for it. There's anticipation, eagerness, and excitement in his tone. He's already imagining the next moment he'll share with you, and that's a marker of investment. A man who is only interested in convenience will say, "Let's hang out sometime," without real urgency or thought behind it. But one who says he can't wait is emotionally leaning into your connection. Finally, the sixth phrase is, "I feel something special with you." This is the phrase that tells you he's moving beyond attraction into emotional attachment. He's admitting vulnerability, and when a man shares his feelings in this way, it's a deliberate step toward connection. Pay attention to the consistency. Does he show it through his actions, not just words? Desire without follow-through is just fantasy. But when words and actions align, when he expresses emotion and backs it up with attention, effort, and presence, that's when you know the attraction is real. Now, here's the key. Hearing these phrases alone isn't enough. Context, delivery, and follow-through are everything. A man can say any of these lines without meaning them, but true intention is rarely faked consistently over time. Look for patterns. If he repeatedly expresses these ideas in different ways, through texts, in person, even in small gestures, it's a strong indicator that he is genuinely interested. If it's sporadic or inconsistent, that's a red flag. Understanding these phrases also means understanding your own response. Attraction works both ways, and your awareness allows you to hold space for someone who truly values you while letting go of someone who doesn't. Don't misinterpret occasional attention as commitment, and don't downplay consistent effort as casual. You deserve clarity, and these phrases, when read correctly, give you a roadmap. It's also important to remember that men show interest differently, and not every man uses words fluently. Some will communicate through actions more than phrases, but the essence is the same. When someone wants you, they prioritize you, think of you, compare you favorably, seek to know you deeply, anticipate time with you, and express emotional connection. Words simply give us the roadmap. It's the follow-through that tells the full story. When you master recognizing these phrases and reading the underlying intentions, you gain an incredible power, the ability to engage with confidence, clarity, and presence. You no longer chase or guess. You respond appropriately, investing your time and energy in someone who is genuinely moving toward you. You learn to navigate dating with intelligence and self-respect, and you build relationships on a foundation of mutual desire rather than uncertainty or manipulation. Think of this as decoding a secret language. Every phrase, every statement, every word carries a frequency of intent. Your task isn't to dissect him or analyze endlessly. It's to observe, trust your intuition, and see the truth behind the words. When a man consistently communicates these 6 phrases with sincerity and alignment, it's not luck, it's intention, and it's a clear signal that he is drawn to you on multiple levels, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And here's a secret. Recognizing these patterns also makes you magnetic. When you know how men communicate interest, you naturally draw out their desire without needing to over-explain or overcompensate. You create clarity, and clarity breeds connection. People are drawn to confidence, to someone who sees and understands them, and when you respond to these phrases with awareness and poise, you elevate the entire dynamic. So, when he says he loves spending time with you, thinks about you, finds you different, wants to know everything about you, can't wait to see you, or feel something special with you, listen carefully, notice his consistency, and pay attention to the alignment of words and actions. That is where truth lives. That is where you decode his real intentions and understand his hidden desires. You're not just hearing phrases. You're reading the language of attraction, investment, and emotional availability. By becoming fluent in this language, you gain power not through manipulation, but through clarity, discernment, and self-respect. You no longer allow ambiguity to dictate your emotions, and you stop settling for half-hearted interest. You position yourself in relationships where desire is mutual, intentional, and genuine. And that is a game changer in love, dating, and connection, because once you recognize these phrases, you understand not just what he's saying, but what he truly wants. And that knowledge gives you freedom, confidence, and control over your romantic life. Would you like me to expand this to a full 2,000-word version that dives deeper into each phrase with practical examples and real-life scenarios? Now, let's dig deeper into each of these phrases, because understanding them isn't just about hearing words. It's about reading between the lines, noticing the subtleties, and observing how he behaves before, during, and after he says them. Let's start with the first phrase, I love spending time with you. There's a powerful difference between saying this casually and saying it with genuine enthusiasm. A man who truly wants you doesn't just enjoy your company in passing, he seeks it out deliberately. He'll call, text, or show up in ways that make it clear you are a priority in his life. He'll make small sacrifices, rearranging plans, or adjusting his schedule because the time he spends with you isn't negotiable, it's valuable. You'll notice that he's fully present when he's with you, not distracted by his phone, work, or outside concerns. This is a man who isn't just physically near you. He's emotionally and mentally engaged, and that's one of the strongest indicators of desire. When we move to the second phrase, "I've been thinking about you," it's easy to dismiss it as mere flattery, but it's far more than that. Think about it. When a man tells you this, he's revealing that you occupy space in his mind even when you're not around. He's replaying moments, remembering details, and imagining future possibilities with you. A key detail here is specificity. Does he mention a small moment you shared, a joke or an insight you gave him? That's a sign he's genuinely attentive. And attention is the currency of desire. Men don't casually spend mental energy on people they don't value. So when you hear this phrase, listen carefully to the context, the tone, and the content. It tells you whether he's passively interested or actively invested. The third phrase, "You're different from anyone I've met," is a subtle but incredibly powerful admission. When a man says this, he's not just complimenting you. He's acknowledging that you stand out in a way that matters to him. He's comparing you to every other person he's known and consciously recognizing that you have unique qualities that capture his attention. This isn't casual conversation, it's emotional prioritization. He's mentally cataloging your traits and weighing them against others because, consciously or not, he sees you as exceptional. When a man says this, watch his eyes and body language. Does he lean in, smile genuinely, or touch lightly on the arm? These nonverbal cues reinforce that his words are rooted in real desire, not polite conversation. Now let's explore the fourth phrase, "I want to know everything about you." On the surface, this may seem like curiosity, but it's far more profound than that. Desire isn't only about physical attraction, it's about connection. When a man genuinely wants you, he seeks to understand your inner world, your dreams, your fears, your routines, your passions. He asks questions not to satisfy idle curiosity, but to deepen his emotional connection. Notice how he responds when you share your thoughts or experiences. Does he offer his own vulnerability in return? A man who is truly interested doesn't just collect information about you. He uses it to create intimacy, to make you feel seen and understood. That's how relationships move from casual interest to genuine connection. The fifth phrase, "I can't wait to see you again," is one of the clearest indicators of proactive desire. Anticipation is an undeniable marker of investment. A man who wants you doesn't wait for you to make the next move. He initiates, plans, and expresses genuine excitement for your next encounter. This phrase reveals eagerness and focus. It's not about obligation, convenience, or passing time. When he says this, observe whether his actions align with his words. Does he follow through, showing up when he said he would? Desire without action is empty, but when anticipation translates into effort, it's a powerful signal that he is prioritizing you and your connection. Finally, the sixth phrase, "I feel something special with you," is an admission of vulnerability. It's easy for some men to speak in generalities or to avoid revealing their emotions, but when a man articulates that he feels something unique, he is exposing himself. He is signaling that his emotions go beyond casual attraction, that he values the bond he shares with you and wants to cultivate it. Pay attention to consistency. Does he repeatedly express this sentiment, both verbally and through action? Emotional honesty, coupled with consistent behavior, is one of the clearest ways to decode a man's intentions. But here's the crucial piece. These phrases alone do not guarantee that a man is genuine. Words can be misleading if not supported by action. Desire is shown through behavior, attention, and consistency. A man who truly wants you will align his actions with his words. He will make an effort to connect, prioritize time with you, respect your boundaries, and engage with your life meaningfully. A man who is only interested in convenience or novelty may say the right words occasionally, but his behavior will be inconsistent, vague, or self-serving. Learning to read this alignment is where real power lies. Understanding these phrases also gives you control over your emotional energy. When you know the signs, you can invest wisely, respond with confidence, and avoid getting trapped in uncertainty. You no longer need to chase or guess. You can respond to attention with grace, curiosity, and self-assurance, while recognizing when someone's words do not match their intent. This isn't about manipulation, it's about discernment and self-respect. You hold the power to choose relationships that elevate your life rather than drain it. Let's go deeper into the psychology behind these phrases. When a man expresses these statements with sincerity, he is signaling emotional availability and attraction simultaneously. Men are wired to show interest differently than women, often blending verbal cues with physical presence. For example, saying, "I love spending time with you," while maintaining eye contact, smiling, and leaning in conveys authenticity. Likewise, expressing anticipation to see you again, paired with action, like calling to confirm plans or following up with thoughtful messages, demonstrates intention. These combined cues create a clear picture of desire that goes far beyond mere words. Another important aspect is emotional reciprocity. When a man says, "I want to know everything about you," he's also inviting a two-way exchange. He wants to share his inner world while learning about yours. This builds a sense of partnership, connection, and intimacy. Relationships where desire is mutual thrive because both parties feel seen and valued. Pay attention to the balance. Is he sharing, listening, and engaging in ways that create emotional equilibrium, or is the interaction one-sided? Genuine interest is not just about attention, it's about shared investment. You'll also notice that when a man truly wants you, his communication is multidimensional. Words are reinforced by tone, body language, and timing. "I've been thinking about you" carries more weight when it comes unexpectedly, is specific, or shows evidence that he's remembered details you shared. Similarly, "I feel something special with you" becomes far more credible when paired with consistency in behavior, checking in, making time, and including you in his life intentionally. The combination of verbal and non-verbal cues is what allows you to decode hidden intentions accurately. It's essential to approach these signals with both awareness and patience. Men may not always express their desires perfectly, but patterns emerge over time. Look for repetition and authenticity. Observe how he behaves when things are convenient versus inconvenient. Desire is tested in real-life circumstances, not just in idealized moments. When his words and actions continue to align over time, that's when you have a strong indication that he's genuinely invested. Finally, recognizing these phrases and understanding their underlying meaning empowers you to create intentional relationships. You no longer settle for ambiguity or half-hearted effort. You can respond in ways that encourage clarity, deepen connection, and ensure mutual investment. You begin to attract men who are aligned with your energy, values, and standards because your awareness communicates that you see through games and value authenticity. When a man consistently communicates that he loves spending time with you, thinks about you, finds you unique, wants to know you deeply, cannot wait to see you again, and feels something special with you, you are witnessing genuine desire. You are observing the alignment of mind, heart, and action. This isn't just attraction, it's intention, and it is rare, valuable, and powerful. By tuning into these phrases, observing patterns, and combining them with behavioral cues, you become fluent in the language of desire. You gain clarity, confidence, and the ability to navigate relationships with intelligence and self-respect. You stop chasing uncertainty and start responding to authentic interest, creating a space where connection, intimacy, and attraction can flourish naturally. This fluency transforms not just how men interact with you, but how you interact with yourself. You recognize your worth, set boundaries, and demand alignment between words and actions. You learn to differentiate between fleeting attention and genuine investment. And when you do, you position yourself to experience relationships that are fulfilling, exciting, and rooted in mutual desire. The beauty of decoding these 6 phrases is that it empowers you to operate from a place of certainty rather than doubt. You learn to trust your intuition, observe signals accurately, and act with confidence. Desire is no longer a guessing game. You can identify it, respond to it, and cultivate it in ways that honor both yourself and the person who genuinely wants you. You become magnetic not by chasing, but by understanding, discerning, and engaging with clarity. Would you like me to continue with another 1,000 words to fully explore real-life examples, stories, and practical strategies for recognizing these phrases in action and responding effectively? Now, let's take this understanding even further, because decoding these 6 phrases isn't just about observation. It's about recognizing the layers of intent, energy, and emotion behind them. It's about seeing not only what a man says, but what he shows through his choices, behaviors, and the way he integrates you into his life. The difference between casual interest and true desire is subtle but unmistakable when you know what to look for. When a man says, "I love spending time with you," observe the quality of that time. Is he present, fully engaged and attentive, or is he distracted and half-hearted? The energy behind the words is critical. A man who truly wants you will focus on creating experiences that deepen your connection. He will listen, laugh, and participate actively rather than scrolling through his phone or thinking about something else. He will prioritize you even when life gets busy, because being with you isn't an obligation, it's a choice he eagerly makes. Notice also how he balances his time. A man genuinely interested doesn't just show up when convenient, he shows up consistently, making space in his life for you because you matter to him. With the phrase, "I've been thinking about you," watch for the details. Genuine interest is shown when he remembers small moments, quotes something you said, or brings up an experience you shared that was meaningful. These small but deliberate actions communicate that you are on his mind in a specific, thoughtful way. Men don't usually invest mental energy in people they aren't drawn to, so when he expresses that he's been thinking about you, it's more than words. It's a reflection of his emotional engagement. It also signals that he's imagining possibilities with you, whether consciously or subconsciously. He's picturing a future, even if it's just small, everyday scenarios, and that's a clear sign of desire. When he says, "You're different from anyone I've met," the real insight comes from noticing how he frames this difference. Does he articulate what makes you stand out? Your intelligence, humor, or authenticity? Or is it vague flattery? The more specific, the more meaningful. This phrase signals comparison, not competition, which is powerful. It shows that he's weighing his connection with you against others in his life. ND acknowledging that you hold a unique place. A man who feels this way is not just infatuated, he's consciously choosing to value your presence, your perspective, and the energy you bring into his world. The phrase, "I want to know everything about you," carries weight beyond curiosity. When a man genuinely wants you, he is not just collecting facts, he is seeking understanding. He asks questions that reveal depth, encourages you to share your dreams and fears, and responds with thoughtfulness. He remembers your stories, follows up on details, and integrates what he learns into his behavior. True desire is evident when he shows up emotionally prepared to engage with your world, not simply superficially. This phrase is about connection on multiple levels: intellectual, emotional, and even spiritual. He is signaling that your thoughts, opinions, and experiences matter to him, and that is the hallmark of someone who is serious about building a bond. "I can't wait to see you again" is one of the clearest markers of proactive desire. Anticipation is powerful because it shows emotional investment in the future. A man who means this doesn't wait for you to initiate. He makes plans, communicates clearly, and expresses excitement. The key here is alignment between words and actions. Does he follow through? Does he plan thoughtfully, rather than just expressing the sentiment? Desire is measured in action as much as in words. A man who is genuinely interested will create opportunities to spend time with you, not just talk about it. He prioritizes connection because it matters to him, and that's a sign of true intention. The phrase, "I feel something special with you," indicates emotional vulnerability. Men don't often articulate this lightly, so when he does, it's a signal of meaningful connection. Pay attention to whether this sentiment is consistent and reinforced by behavior. Desire without follow-through is fleeting, but when words and actions align, it signals commitment, interest, and emotional availability. A man who expresses that he feels something special is inviting you into an emotional space, showing that he values your presence and wants to nurture the connection. But there's more to decoding these phrases than just listening. It's about noticing patterns and subtleties. A man may say the right words occasionally, but true intent is revealed over time. Consistency, attention, and alignment of words and actions are the ultimate proof of desire. Look at how he communicates across different situations. Does he maintain interest when things aren't easy or convenient? Does he reach out without prompting? Does he prioritize your presence and show attentiveness? These patterns tell the real story. Understanding these phrases also equips you to navigate relationships with clarity. When you recognize genuine interest, you can respond with confidence and presence rather than insecurity or guessing. You don't have to overanalyze or chase validation. Instead, you can focus your energy on mutual investment, deepening connection, and creating shared experiences that reflect both desire and respect. This level of awareness transforms how you interact not just with him, but with yourself, because you are no longer tolerating ambiguity or half-hearted effort. Let's explore the emotional intelligence behind these phrases. When a man expresses these 6 forms of interest, he is signaling attraction on multiple levels: emotional, intellectual, and physical. Words alone are insufficient. The energy, tone, and consistency matter. "I love spending time with you" isn't just a statement, it's a choice he makes repeatedly. "I've been thinking about you" isn't casual chatter, it's evidence that he values your presence in his mental and emotional space. "You're different from anyone I've met" isn't just flattery, it's comparison, prioritization, and recognition. "I want to know everything about you" isn't idle curiosity, it's investment in understanding and intimacy. "I can't wait to see you again" isn't a casual promise, it's anticipation and proactive effort. "I feel something special with you" isn't empty words, it's vulnerability and emotional alignment. Recognizing these layers allows you to see past superficiality and identify true desire. It's also important to note that desire manifests differently in different people. Some men express interest verbally, while others show it predominantly through action. The key is to observe patterns, consistency, and alignment. Words without action are empty, but action without communication can also be ambiguous. The most compelling evidence of genuine interest is when words and actions work together, reinforcing one another over time. For example, a man might say, "I want to know everything about you," but if he never follows up, asks meaningful questions, or remembers details, the sentiment is shallow. Conversely, if he shows attentiveness, invests time, and shares emotionally, the message is authentic. Recognizing these phrases gives you a framework for emotional clarity. You no longer have to rely on guesswork or uncertainty. You can identify genuine intent and make decisions with confidence. You can discern when someone is truly invested, when someone is casually interested, and when someone is misaligned with your energy and expectations. This awareness transforms how you navigate attraction and relationships, allowing you to focus on connection, alignment, and mutual investment rather than ambiguity or games. Furthermore, understanding these phrases empowers you to communicate your own needs effectively. When you recognize what genuine interest looks like, you can set standards for consistency, attentiveness, and emotional alignment. You no longer settle for vague intentions or sporadic effort. You seek out relationships where desire is mutual, effort is consistent, and emotional connection is prioritized. This doesn't make you demanding, it makes you discerning. You're choosing clarity over confusion, alignment over uncertainty, and mutual investment over fleeting attention. Another critical aspect is the role of timing and patience. Desire isn't always immediate, and men may express interest in different rhythms. Some may be verbal first, others action-oriented. Some may take time to feel comfortable expressing vulnerability. Recognizing these patterns helps you calibrate your response without misjudging intent. Patience, paired with observation, allows you to see the full picture over time, distinguishing between genuine desire and surface-level attention. When a man consistently communicates these 6 forms of interest, through words, actions, and energy, you gain insight into his hidden desires. You see the intentionality behind his behavior, the emotional weight behind his statements, and the alignment between his heart and his actions. This fluency gives you clarity, confidence, and the ability to respond intelligently. You are no longer guessing or questioning. You are engaging with awareness and presence. Decoding these phrases also cultivates your own self-awareness. You begin to recognize what you value in connection, how you respond to attention, and what patterns feel authentic versus performative. You become attuned not only to his intentions, but also to your own standards, desires, and boundaries. This self-awareness strengthens your ability to attract men who align with your energy, values, and emotional needs. You learn to navigate attraction strategically and emotionally wisely, fostering relationships that are intentional, fulfilling, and grounded in mutual desire. Finally, mastering the recognition of these 6 phrases transforms your approach to dating and relationships. You become fluent in the language of desire, able to see authenticity versus ambiguity, consistency versus inconsistency, and intention versus casual interest. You respond with confidence, presence, and clarity, creating space for genuine connection and shared investment. You attract relationships where desire, respect, and emotional alignment coexist naturally. You move with purpose, not uncertainty, and your energy signals discernment and self-respect, drawing those who are genuinely aligned to you. Would you like me to continue with an additional 1,000 words that include real-life examples, practical exercises, and actionable strategies to recognize and respond to these 6 phrases in everyday interactions?